Greetings, my peeps, and welcome to the All Things Basketball Podcast with your boy GD. In this episode, 2024 WNBA All Star Weekend in Phoenix. Your boy was there. I'll tell you all about it, all that took place. I'll cover it all. So you know what it is. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Okay, guys, it's your boy GD back with the All Things Basketball with GD podcast. And guys, let me just tell you, the 2024 WNBA All Star Game and the All Star Weekend as a whole is in the books. All is done. I want to give a shout out to Phoenix, the organization over there for the Mercury, and Matt Ishbia and everybody involved over there. Y'all did an amazing job that weekend, and it was awesome. It was awesome. So you did a bang-up job. I'll talk all about it. Let me just talk about my ordeal and coming and going there. It was something. It was something. I was scheduled to leave, guys, that Friday, 8:30 in the morning, which will put me there about 11 o'clock or so. So I had the whole day planned. I had a few events I was going to make, some night parties I was going to get to, had it all mapped out. Then the global outage happened that affected everything, guys, from Microsoft Outlook to all these different industries, including the airline industry. So my 8:30 flight turned into a later flight, which turned into a later flight, which turned into no flight. So your boy had to scramble. And when all was said and done, I got myself on a flight going to Salt Lake City that would then connect and get me to Phoenix. Got to Salt Lake City. What happened there? The flight to Phoenix was delayed and delayed and delayed. So your boy didn't reach Phoenix in a morning that started out supposedly on an 8:30 flight. I did not reach Phoenix until the wee hours of Saturday. I actually got to my hotel room 4 in the morning, guys. Good grief. So, yeah, it was bad. And then going back, more of the same, guys. My flight was supposed to be Sunday night. Just before midnight, it was going to fly out and get me back to New York. It was a red eye. Then early Sunday came. They were delaying that flight. So again, your boy had to scramble, and I saw an alternative way to go home, which would keep me in Phoenix an extra day, which I did. So I spent the extra day in Phoenix to leave out that evening for a flight that was going to get me back to New York. It was actually a connecting flight through Detroit. What happened with that? More delays, guys. And then I saw that there was a direct flight that was happening. So I went to go on that. And then all of a sudden, that got canceled. So I had to double back to the Detroit flight, and I got on that flight by the skin of my teeth, guys. And since that was delayed, I missed the JFK connection, so I had to wait a few hours and go through LaGuardia, which I ended up doing. And all while my bags beat me to New York because it went on a whole nother flight. I think it was Salt Lake City again in the mix. Phoenix to Salt Lake City to JFK. So, but that flight beat me to New York. I go to LaGuardia. So it was an ordeal, guys. But in the end, it was all worth it. When all is said and done, all was worth it. So that's what your boy endured. So not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. But nonetheless, I was able to attend the games and so forth, which I will talk about. So without any further delay, let's get right into it, guys. All-Star Weekend for the WNBA started on Thursday, actually. They had a red carpet event at about 10 o'clock at night. And it was basically the players' arrivals. You know the thing now with the WNBA, it's all about the fashion fits as they come into the game. And they really marketed this. And it has really taken off. There's even a IG page called NBA Tunnel, and that is a emerging page on Instagram. So there was the player arrivals. One of the hosts of that, Lexi Brown of the Los Angeles Sparks. So, the different players came. Caitlin Clark, she was on the carpet there. Also, Brittany Griner. Also, Marina Mabry. I believe she was on the carpet as well. It was a bunch of people. So, they got interviews, so on and so forth. It was about an hour long, but it was nice. It was a nice little thing. I watched that on the TV, actually the night before my supposed flight. Go figure. So that was that night. Then you have Friday night. I didn't get a chance with all the traveling and whatnot. I only got to see the 3-point contests, but I was able to watch, of course, the clips, not clips, but I saw the full skills challenge, and I saw part of the 3-on-3 game. The 3-on-3 game, let's start there. It was Team USA versus Team under 23 years old. And on Team USA, we have De'Erica Hamby. Remember that she's replacing Cameron Brink, who, of course, we know sustained a knee injury. So it's De'Erica Hamby, Ryan Howard, who's now healthy, guys, Haley Van Lith, and Sierra Burdick. So that's your 4 players that's representing the USA in the 3-on-3 over in Paris. And on Team under 23, you have Christine Dawsey, Morgan Maley, Cody McMahon, Lucy Olson, and she's now going to be at Iowa, Michaela Williams of LSU, and then Sarah Williams. That was your Team under 23. It was a competitive game, too. In fact, Team under 23 was up late in this, and then Ryan Howard came to life, guys, and she really carried that team to the victory. And it was a hard-fought game, guys, but in the end, Team USA prevails. So they get the win in that exhibition game. Moving on to the skills challenge. I saw that your 5 contestants were Sophie Cunningham of the Phoenix Mercury, Alyssa Gray of the Atlanta Dream, Brittany Griner, also for the Phoenix Mercury. Marina Mabrey of now, she was with the Chicago Sky. She got traded, guys. She got traded to the Connecticut Sun. So she represented that team there. And then Kelsey Mitchell as a late replacement for her teammate, Erica Wheeler, who, like myself, got stranded at the airport, guys. So she was never able to make it out for the skills challenge. So Kelsey Mitchell subbed in her place. So you had the first round, and coming out of that first round was Sophie Cunningham and Alyssa Gray. So that's your two challengers in the finals. Sophia Cunningham goes first. She does well. She does well, guys. It has a nice little time. So Alyssa Gray had to beat that time. And in the end, she does just that. Although she missed a lot of her shots in that final round, she goes through the drills and she wins by 2 seconds. A little over 2 seconds, actually. So your winner for the skills challenge is Alyssa Gray. Then we have the event of the evening, the showcase event, the 3-point shootout. Now, remember last year, that's where Sabrina Ionescu lit the world on fire when she missed only two shots out of all the shots she had to take there. So, in the 3-point shootout, you have Stephanie Colson of the Washington Mystics. I'm sorry, Stephanie Dawson of the Washington Mystics. Alyssa Gray, yes, she was in the skills contest. Now she's in the 3-point contest. Jonquel Jones of the New York Liberty. Marina Mabrey, again, of the Connecticut Sun. So she, too, is in 2 different contests. And then the last participant, Kayla McBride. So that means no Sabrina Ionescu. She was asked. She declined. And then Caitlin Clark. She was asked. She declined. Which brought a lot of people to say, oh, why they decline? It's bad for the product and this and that. Sabrina Ionescu is preparing for the Olympics to bring home that gold. So immediately I give her a pass on that. Caitlin Clark, and I said it on social media, these delusional, it's not the whole fan base, the delusional portion of Caitlin's fan base, they want her in everything, guys. They want her in this. They want her in the Olympics. The girl's been playing basketball since last October. Can she live? Can she get a rest? She declined this contest knowing that she's going to play the next day in the All Star Game. So can't we have just a little grace here for the young lady? I'm just saying. But no, you guys want to run her into the ground and have her doing everything, which, it's not cool. And she's under great demand, whether it be media, whether it be off the court obligations. And nobody takes that into account when we're talking about Caitlin Clark. Think of all the obligations she have outside of basketball and off the court. So just give the young lady grace is all I'm saying. She didn't want to participate in this. She'll participate next year. I'm pretty sure of that. But she's been going since last October, guys. Think about that. That's all I'm saying. So Yeah, I'll finish my rant right there. But let's talk about the contest. So it goes in order. Stephanie goes first, then Alyssa, then Jonquel, Marina, and then last was Kayla McBride. And when all is said and done, the two finalists are Alyssa Gray of the Atlanta Dream and surprisingly, Jonquel Jones, who had a very good first round. So now you have your finalists. Jonquel goes first, and she does well again. I thought she may have had this in the bag, guys. But Alyssa Gray goes, and she beats her by one basket, guys. By one basket, she beats Jonquel Jones. So Alyssa Gray does something that nobody else has done on the same night. She wins the skills challenge and she wins the 3-point contest. Alyssa Gray is somebody we really don't talk about, but she's one of the better guards in the league and one of the guards we really don't talk about. You know, we talk about the Jewel Lloyds, we talk about the Rika Ogunbowales, we talk about, of course, Sabrina Ionescu, but we really don't talk about Alyssa Gray and what she does. She's a fantastic ball player, guys. So, but this night belongs to Alyssa Gray as she takes both awards. So congratulations to Alyssa Gray for such a fabulous night on Friday. So we go to Saturday. Before I talk about everything that's going on as far as on the court in the NBA, the WNBA, I want to talk about the Legends Brunch. The Legends Brunch takes place that Saturday afternoon. I'm in attendance. I go to it, and it was a fabulous event, guys. I really enjoyed myself. It was hosted by Rushia Brown of the Cleveland Rockers. She hosted the event and did an excellent job. The panelists for that day was Bridget Pettis, one of Phoenix's own. She was with the Phoenix Mercury when they first came on the scene. She also played for the Indiana Fever. She also coached at one time in the WNBA. So she was on the panel. Anita Maxwell, you may know her as Anita Skipper. She was on the panel, and she played for the Cleveland Rockers as well as Rushia. And then Leslie Johnson, and she played for the Washington Mystics. And the topics for that day was financial wellness, also physical health, and also mental health. So 3 important topics to touch on, that's for sure. And in attendance also, it was quite a few ladies there. The 2 that I'll mention, actually, I think I have the list somewhere. Give me 1 second, guys. I think I have the list. But a couple of them that I wrote down, Sylvia Crawley-Spann, and she played for the San Antonio Silver Stars. She also played for the Portland Fire, and she actually played in the ABL. Remember, guys, there were 2 leagues that sprung out of 1997. It was both the WNBA and the ABL. And she played in the ABL. Then once that league went under, then Sylvia came to the WNBA. And then also a favorite of mine, Liberty player Kim Hampton, who played for the New York Liberty with that team with, of course, Teaspoon, Teresa Weatherspoon. You had Rebecca Lobo on there, Sue Wicks, Sophia Witherspoon. That team, yeah, she was on there. So Kim Hampton was in the building, guys. And there was a few others as well. I wrote them down. I thought I had them here with me, but I thoroughly enjoyed the event. And I was actually able to ask a question, guys. And I want to pull up the audio, if I could, of what I asked them. Give me 1 second. Yeah. It's right here. And this is the audio. It's about 4 minutes long. So here we go. I've followed it since its inception of my social media with all the different narratives. And it's the news I got straight from. But I actually wish the players today were in here to hear this conversation. It's so important what you ladies were talking about, what the mental health, the financials, part of it, and of course the physical. If you had to drop a jewel for these ladies, one jewel for them playing today, what would it be? It's not going to last forever. They need to know that one day, and they can't see it, because today, some of them, they're WNBA All Stars. But one day, they're going to be in this room. They think they got it all together right now, but what? They too are going to have an identity crisis. And so it's not going to last forever. And that's why I think it is important that the WNBA, the NBRPA, the Players Association, they get proactive with these players so that they don't end up with a Leslie Johnson story. Because once they understand calamity very well could come, like, let's have measures in place. Let's have transitional things ready to go. And so they can prepare so that they don't have some of the issues that a lot of us suffer with. I like that now. I'll piggyback on that too. Basketball is what you do and not who you are. I know so many of us struggled after we transitioned trying to figure out who we were without the game. In my first job with the Aces, I worked with the Aces too. I was playing programs and franchise development manager. And my job was to help them figure out what they wanted to do off the court. Bill was committed to helping them figure out beyond basketball what their thing was. So I had the access to the MGM. Anybody, some people wanted restaurant. I arranged meetings with the top chefs and the different people. So just figure out who you are. And I think right now they have a lot of support with social media. You can be yourself, you can brand yourselves, but it's really important to know who you are in the game. And that reminds me of the game plan that you put together a few years ago. But to piggyback on what they said, it's also start building those relationships and leverage them now. Don't wait until they stop playing basketball. They are as most well-known and popular as they will be while they are playing. And after that, over the years, people forget your name, so they need to leverage those relationships for things they're interested in now. We spoke with the Indiana Fever a few years back, and so we came in and talked to them about how to leverage their brand and get their name out there, and how to make sure they're taking care of their finances. You saw that this multi-billion-dollar increase is coming to the league, which hopefully will turn into more income for them, and giving them an idea of how you start using that, make that money work for you while you're working hard for it right now, but also just taking everything they're learning and begin to transition and understand how to transition. We might play basketball, but we have a lot of transferable skills. And so understanding that and not just limiting yourself to, I can only be a coach or a basketball trainer. Stay grounded in God. Stay grounded in God, because even if you go through something, we got it. And He got me. And even when I felt like it was something, He got me. And He doesn't let you go.
and staying grounded in God and adding meditation.
So that was the answers. And in order, it was Leslie Johnson first, then it was Rushia Brown, followed by Anita Maxwell, and then the last person you heard speaking was Bridget Pettis. So invaluable conversation that was taking place. I was so blessed to be a part of it, and I truly appreciated Rushia Brown for hosting it, and I told her, I said, next year if you guys do it, I'll be there. And I think the WNBA as a whole need to get behind these ladies for this Legends Brunch and have it where you have more people there to support this, because I think it's very important to have these type of conversations. So hats off to you ladies. You did an amazing job. All right. So with that said, I will move on to Saturday. Well, as far as the All-Star goes. Cheryl Miller had a press conference, guys. And she said a number of things that got people's attention. She talked about, first, she made it known that, you know, as far as her coaching, she was also going to have with her Ann Myers Drysdale as an assistant coach. And I did spotlights on both Cheryl Miller and just last year on Ann Myers Drysdale. If you don't know these ladies' resume, I suggest you go look it up, or even more so, just listen to my episodes where I talk about their careers. These are two of the, you know, we throw around the GOAT term a lot, but if I would say you would have to mention these ladies in that type of conversation as far as the greatest of all time. These ladies belong in that discussion. That's how good they are. So you had these two legendary coaches coaching these young ladies for the team WNBA. So very invaluable for these ladies. I hope they took away something learning from these two masterminds, in my opinion. So yeah, so she and Myers Drysdale were coaching them. Also, she coached this game for free, guys. That's what she said in the press conference, which absolutely floored me. I did not believe that she was just doing this and not getting any compensation, which sounds crazy. But it was Taj McWilliams Franklin who called her and actually put out the invitation for her to coach this team. And Cheryl Miller said, you know, it's an opportunity she couldn't pass up. So she did it. And then also, someone asked her about the rumored $2.2 billion deal that's in place for the league. So the way it works, I discussed the NBA deal. So a fraction of that also applies for the WNBA. And out of the 76 billion, the WNBA is getting 2.2 billion of that pie. And when Cheryl Miller was asked, she said that's a low ball number. And she said it should be more like 8 billion for their TV deal. And that there needed to be a bully behind the negotiating table for the league to reach a bigger number than the 2.2 billion. And which I understand in theory what she's saying, the fact that you have this growth now in the league as far as eyeballs watching, people going through the turnstiles, people paying for the merchandise. You have a groundswell now, and it's only going to get better from here, guys. And then she talked about the crop that's coming up behind this rookie class that came in. Of course, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and those ladies. You still got talent that's coming up. So you might as well ride the wave now. And so that's in essence what she was saying, that the 2.2, that's going to look like a low number when all is said and done. And you have this groundswell of attention and eyeballs and people buying and watching. So in that respect, I understand. I get it. You know, you want to be able to maximize on that. So probably down the line, they will regret not getting more money in this deal. And then you have your Rob Parkers of the world. He wants to be a stand-up comedian so bad that it's just atrocious, to be honest. So he goes on and he rips Cheryl Miller for saying that this is a low ball number. He calls it a welfare league. The fact that the NBA is funding them. If they were a small business, they would go out of business if it wasn't for the NBA propping them up. And then, of course, he brings up the fact that more women should support him. Now, I stand in agreement that, yes, more women should support the WNBA. I stand with him in that regard. But everything else was just callous, clumsy, and downright disrespectful, to be honest with you. To call the league a welfare league, and then he talked about government cheese. It's just, there's no need to go there. There's a healthy way to have this conversation, and that wasn't it. And then, of course, he tells this little corny joke about leaving the tickets on the window shield, and then he comes back and there's 8 tickets. He wants to be Kevin Hart. He wants to be Dave Chappelle, but Rob, stick to your day job, and you're barely doing that well. So I digress. Anyway, so that's what Cheryl had to say in that regard, according to the rumored deal, which actually is not rumored now. It's actually a deal in place. And Disney's a part of it. NBC, Universal is now a part of it, and Amazon. So you have those 3 entities. I believe CBS and Ion is still in the mix in that regard. So you're going to have the WNBA in a lot of places, guys, where you can watch. So my question is, how would it affect the app, being that you get the league pass on the app? How would that be affected with all of this in the new deal coming up? Which, again, it doesn't take place in 2025-26 season. So I guess we'll get answers to that question as we get closer to that. So that was her press conference. And the last thing she said, she's not worried about her legacy. She prefers to be of service where she's needed, whether it be in the pros, of course, in the WNBA, or in the college game. Like last year, she was really a help to her old alma mater, USC. She even had a sit down with Juju Watkins, which was fantastic. If you could find it on YouTube, watch it. It was a compelling conversation those two had. So, but Cheryl Miller seemed like she was estranged from the game for a while, but now she's back and her voice is needed. I think her voice is needed as far as the women's basketball goes. So I'll leave it there. All right. Let's talk about the All Star Game itself. I was in the building, guys. The building was absolutely electric. I mean, it was fabulous. That arena, that Footprint Center, I suggest if you're ever in Phoenix, go hit that building. It is absolutely amazing inside. The food, the service. I mean, it was just fantastic. Was it Barclays Center? I would venture to say, yeah, I would say the food was fantastic inside there. Oh my gosh, the food was off the chain in there. But yeah, it's a beautiful arena. Make no mistake about it. It was so easy to get in and out of there, unlike your Barclays, which it has a few ways you could get in and out, but it seemed like it was seamless getting in and out of that place. So I'm just saying. But nonetheless, there was a game that took place. It was the Team WNBA against Team USA. Of course, this is in preparation for the Olympics that the Team USA is going to be a part of in Paris. So they did this back in 2021. Team WNBA, they won that game actually, and I'll get to the MVP in a minute. But the game, when all is said and done, at the half, Team USA was up 54-52. So it was a tight game, guys. Very touch and go, back and forth. And your starting lineups for Team WNBA, your starting lineup was Caitlin Clark. She got the start, guys, as a rookie, along with Arike Ogunbowale. She started next to her in the backcourt. And then up front, you had your veterans, Nneka Onwumike, Jonquel Jones, and Dawana Bonner. So these are seasoned vets here that was in your front court. So that was your starting lineup. And then for Team USA, you had a starting lineup of Breanna Stewart, also Aja Wilson, and then also Diana Taurasi. She started. And in the backcourt, you had Chelsea Gray, your point guard, of course, and Jewel Lloyd. So that was your starting lineup for Team USA. And like I said, they led at the half by 2, but then in the second half, Arike Ogunbowale, she went scoreless in that first half, guys, and she absolutely went berserk in the second half. When all is said and done, she ends up with 34 points on 10 of 20 shooting. She dropped 8 threes in this game, guys. 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals. Absolutely amazing game for Arike Ogunbowale, who, by her own admission, I think I had mentioned this on the show, she appeared on Nightcap, in fact, with Shannon Sharp, along with Chad Ochocinco Johnson. She appeared on that show and she talked about the WNBA and so forth. She talked about the Olympics, how it's a political process, and how she basically described it as, being kind of cliquey, where it's like certain cliques will make it and so on and so forth. And that she saw the handwriting on the wall and she said, you know what? Let me decline and not be a part of this. So she pulls herself out of the running for making the Olympic squad. So was there a little extra venom that Arike had? Seems so. Certainly does. But nonetheless, She tore them up, guys. And I mean, they threw everyone on her. They threw Sabrina Ionescu on her. They threw, I believe, Plum. No, Plum was on Caitlin Clark. They threw Kalia Copper at her. No avail. Jewel Lloyd, nothing. I mean, none of them can deal, guys. She was that much on fire and in her bag, guys. So, in the end, the final result, 117, 109. Team WNBA gets the W. So, Cheryl Miller and her return to coaching gets the W. And I want to play this too, if I'm able to. Something that she said. Oh, gosh. I tell you, it's just great to have her back and doing what she loves to do. And that's being a part of women's basketball. You can't have women's basketball without Cheryl Miller being a part of that. You just can't. I'm pulling up the clip. Hold on, guys. It's great. God, it's coming up soon. I had it on the ready. This should be it right here. Okay. And this is Cheryl Miller on the sideline. And then the next voice you'll hear is also Ann Myers Drysdale. So that's Cheryl Miller. Just out there having fun. That's what it's all about. But what she did say, and I caught a clip of this, that she didn't really need to do much because, number one, Team WNBA, they had it in their minds. They want to take it to Team USA, for their own reasons. Like Enrique, I'm sure, as far as she goes, maybe she wanted to be a part of Olympic team. You have that. And then there's other things as well. So they wanted to beat Team USA. And then also she said this team is full of players with high IQs. So there's not really much she had to do. Just basically point them in the direction they go. So, and that's what ended up happening, guys. So I will break down the box score, and then I'll talk about a few other things, and then we'll be done. So I told you about Arika Ogunbowale's numbers. And she played the most minutes of anyone on Team WNBA. Then you have Alyssa Gray. I talked about her earlier when she won the two contests on Friday. She finished with 16 points, 5 steals she had, guys, 3 assists and 3 rebounds for Alyssa Gray. Again, one of the players you don't really hear talked about, but she's one heck of a player. Then you have Nneka Onwumike, who had 14 points and 3 rebounds. She kind of set the tone early. She was hitting baskets early, but Nneka Onwumike, she had a nice game. Kelsey Mitchell coming off the bench, 13 points, 2 steals. How about Angel Reese? 12 points, 11 rebounds in a all-star game, coming off the bench. Only 18 minutes, guys. And she does that. 5 of 10 shooting. And she was 0 for 2 from 3-point range. So basically 5 for 8 from the normal field. And then she knocked down both of her free throws. I thought it was a stroke of genius. And then also to look at the veterans that was in that starting lineup. You're not putting Angel Reese above any of those ladies. But the fact that she was such a spark coming off the bench, I thought was brilliant. I thought was absolutely brilliant. She's, people want to make these foolish remarks. I call them foolish. Oh, she only rebounds on her misses, which that has been batted down repeatedly so many times. All you have to do is look at the analytics, and that disproves that nonsense. But you can't coach or teach desire. And that's what Angel Reese has. She has desire, guys. And even in watching the game, out of nowhere, she comes and grabs these rebounds. And I'm like, what in the world? Where did she even come from? And so much so, they caught Asia Wilson on a hot mic saying, I don't want to guard Angel Reese. I don't want to guard her, because she knows that Angel Reese doesn't back down. She's going to keep coming. That's just who she is. So I'm on social media. I'm just fighting these clowns who comes up with that garbage. This girl has she's got that dog in her. She said it herself. She's got that dog in her. And I'll say this, come 2028, some of these ladies going to have to watch their spot, because Angel's coming, guys. And I am afraid of what she'll look like come about 3 or 4 years down the line, because she's only going to get better, guys. So Angel Reese with a double-double. Jonquel Jones, just 6 points for her, but she does grab 7 rebounds and 5 assists. She had some nice passes in this game. Jonquel Jones did. Brianna Jones, 6 points for her. She only played 8 minutes. Dewana Bonner, 16 minutes for her, 5 points and 4 rebounds. Caitlin Clark, she played the second most minutes game, guys. And for her, just 4 points. She did have 10 assists, one off of the record, guys, but she sets a rookie record. She could have tied the actual record with 11. And she did have 2 steals as well. Caitlin Clark, and I'm so glad she's getting this rest now during the Olympic break. She is in such demand. I talked about it. She's in such demand of her time. She's one that she just wants to hoop. She's kind of like Kevin Durant in that regard. She just wants to hoop. So, but she was 0 for 7 from 3-point range and 2 for 9. It's just that the legs weren't there on the shot, and then of course one of her assists went to Angel Reese, a nice dump down to Angel that she knocked down. And then you see the picture behind me, guys, where she daps up Caitlin Clark. A picture that I'm sure a lot of people ain't gonna like that. And I said at the offset before this game, I hope there was a moment like this where we can finally put to bed all the crazy notion of one hating the other and so forth. It's competition, guys. It is competition. And even on the sideline, Angel Reese, you saw her. She thought Caitlin Clark was going to pull up for a logo 3, and she was like this, like, bring it. So it's, again, if they're on the same team, they're cheering for each other. That's just the way it goes. Now, when the break is over, they go to their respective teams. That'll be another case. But for this day, they were on the same page and they played well together. And I hope to see them in future. I talked about Angel in 2028. Caitlin Clark, I bet my bottom dollar she'll be on that 2028 team. And then they'll team up in that regard as far as on the world stage. And I would love to see that. And you guys that got an issue with them getting along, you're in the world of troubles, because this won't be the only team up they have. Remember, they're in the same conference, for crying out loud. So they'll be in a few more All-Star games together, and they'll be on the world stage together. So find a hill and get over it. So I'll just leave it there. But Caitlin Clark, she was a distributor in this game, and she was happy about it. So I say overall, solid game for Caitlin Clark. The fact that she was able to dish and get her teammates involved. And then you have Aaliyah Boston. She only played 9 minutes, guys, 4 points. Kayla McBride, 3 points for her. She dropped a 3 in this game, and that was it for her. Dearica Hamby played 4 minutes and didn't score, guys. So, and then you got to remember, Dearica Hamby played the night before in the 3-on-3. So, seemed like coach wanted to give her a break in that regard. So, but she does play 4 minutes. On the other side, Breanna Stewart, she brings it, guys. 31 points for her, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. So she has herself a double-double. And she ties Arika Ogunbowale in minutes. She plays 31 minutes in this game. Asia Wilson, 22 points for her, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, playing 29 minutes. And then after that, you see the minutes start to dwindle down. Diana Taurasi played 20 minutes, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Brittany Griner coming off the bench, 10 points, 7 rebounds. Kelsey Plum, 9.6 assists. And you saw there was a portion in the game where Kelsey Plum was picking up Caitlin Clark at full court, trying to press her to no avail, because Caitlin Clark was able to dish it off to one of the bigs inside. And then you saw things get chippy also with Kelsey Plum, and it was a battle of the Kelseys, guys. Kelsey Mitchell and Kelsey Plum going at it, guys. It was getting a little chippy there. And you like that in the All-Star game, That's a far cry from what you saw in February with the men, where they were giving each other love taps and not even playing defense. So it's nice to see that in the All-Star game, a little bit of chippiness and, going at each other. But I digress. Kalia Copper, she has 7 points with 3 steals. Chelsea Gray, 5 points, 5 assists. Sabrina Ionescu, very quiet game for her, 5 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Alyssa Thomas, quiet game for her, 4 points, 5 rebounds. Didn't really have all that many assists. Jackie Young, 2 points and 3 assists for her. Juloy, who started, scored 0 points, guys, but did have 3 assists. And then Naphesia Collier, she played in this game, actually. Remember, she was out. She had the ankle injury, but she played 3 minutes in this game, guys. 0 points for her. So when all is said and done, the Team WNBA prevails. And then you had people on social media social media is such a cesspool sometimes. But now they're saying, oh, we're sending the wrong team over there to Paris and this and that. And, oh, replace this one with this one. Let me say this in plain English for you guys who just showed up watching the league and watching women's basketball. Team USA is going for its 8th straight gold medal, which means they haven't lost since 1992. They haven't lost as far as the Olympics goes. So it seems like they kind of know what they're doing, guys. So for Joe Schmo on Instagram or Facebook or wherever the platform is, for you to have this opinion, oh, replace this one with that one, or send Team WNBA instead. Newsflash, Team USA is good. They're good right now. With what they have right now, they should win gold. And I don't think I'm speaking out of school when I say they will win gold. That's how good this team is. That's how good this squad you see is. So we're not going to replace them with Team WNBA. We're not going to get rid of old lady, quote unquote, what these guys are saying, Diana Taurasi. We're not doing that. We're not taking Brittany Griner off here. Again, let me revert back to something I always talk about when it comes to Brittany Griner. To the ones that say, oh, she hates this country. Why is she going over there? Or, oh, we traded her for this arms dealer, this and that, and all this nonsense. And you want to replace her on the team. First of all, you never talk about replacing her with a fellow big. So there's that argument there. And even if you did, here's why I say, when they say, oh, she hates this country. If she hates this country, and everybody knows that she hates this country, like you guys keep insisting, why does the select committee continue to call her number and say, Brittany, could you come and play for Team USA? Why do they do it? If that's what you're saying is true, why does the select committee keep inviting her? I have yet to get a straight answer about that because you don't have an answer for it. So, again, get over it. She's on the squad, and that's the way it is. So, nobody's getting replaced. This is your squad. So, like it or lump it. So, that's all I say with that. So with that said, guys, I think I'm going to end it there, guys. I think I covered it all. All right. So as always, guys, I thank you for listening. All things basketball with gd.com is the website. There you'll find my episodes there. You'll find my support buttons, guys. I got 3 support buttons there. I got one for Spotify. You can use that one to send money to the show. I have Buy Me a Coffee. You can use that. And also my PayPal button is there if you want to donate to the show. Also, Cash App me, $GD, that's Sports Dude. Again, my Cash App, $GD, that's Sports Dude, is how you give to the show. Also, guys, I'm on YouTube. I have a YouTube page, guys. Well, YouTube channel. You can watch me there. Like the video, guys, when you see it on there. Like the videos. I put my shorts there as well. Also, guys, I am on all podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts, where you can leave a review there. Nice reviews, guys. Be nice to your boy now. 5 stars is great. Love to see that. So give your boy a nice review or nice comments as well. I'm on all socials. IG, I'm there heavy. Facebook, I'm there. TikTok, I do my shorts there. So that's where you find a lot of my shorts there. And then Twitter, X, you know, yeah, you got that Elon Musk there. So I'm good. Anyway, all right, guys. So that is it. I thank you for listening as always. When you hear from me again, we'll be talking, I guess, Olympic basketball. We could talk about that. Summer League. I guess I could spend a minute or two on Summer League. Yeah. So, and then the second half of the WNBA season will get underway mid-August. So I'll probably come on in some capacity and talk about that as well. All right, guys. With that said, I thank you for listening. We'll talk soon. Take care.